What is going on, guys, and welcome to another video. And today we're going to be breaking down why Ogre has a 51.59% win rate, a very underrated support hero. I don't see this hero nearly enough in my pubs, and honestly he should be picked a lot more often. This hero is such a beast. One of the bad things about Ogre is that he's a very slow hero, like movement wise, and just in general very clunky kind of slow hero, but this hero packs a punch. You cannot let an Ogre go uncontested. Even from the support line, most heroes right now cannot contest an Ogre just because of how strong he is. But first, let's talk about the facet. So the facet you're going to be running, especially on support Ogre, is going to be learning curve. So basically at level 1 you start with no skills. You have no skill points available, but at level 2 you get 3 skill points. So basically at level 3 you're going to have the option to have 3 abilities, which is absolutely insane. You could either go 1-1-1, or you can take 2 points in ignite, 1 point in fire blast. I'd like to go 1-1-1. I think it's a lot better. It gives you more out of those levels and a lot more coverage. And if you're able to get some value off your bloodlust with a carry like Slark or a hero like Ursa, where they're going to benefit a lot from this attack speed, very important for you guys to hit this key timing. So your level 2 timing is super strong right now. So look to pressure with your carry and try and get some pickoffs and use this level advantage, because it's basically like if you were level 3 at level 2. Very strong skill. And if you are playing core Ogre Magi, you should be using Fat Chance, which basically increases Ogre's multicast chance, which is really nice if you are playing the core Ogre and you are trying to scale like that. This is better for the support Ogre for the laning phase, but then it kind of goes away. Like once it's done, it's not going to help you throughout the rest of the game. Fat Chance will actually help you scale throughout the rest of the game. So the more strength you guys have, the more multicast spree you can go on. His innate ability is Dumb Luck, which means you get mana and mana regen from strength. So the tankier you get, the more mana regen and mana you're going to have, which is very important because now you can actually build bracers on Ogre without actually looking like a griefer, because it's a very strong item for you to trade. And also you build mana boots on this hero. It is very important. Just because you're building strength doesn't mean you're going to have enough mana regen and mana to sustain casting a lot of ignites and a lot of fire blasts. So please make sure you guys are getting mana boots. They're so cheap right now. It's honestly fantastic. It's one of the best boots you guys can have right now, and it is pretty much the best boots you can buy on a support. They're just so cheap, so accessible to get, very important to have so you can keep that pressure up. This hero does not like to sit around. This hero likes to get aggressive and likes to play around. So if you guys want to roam a little bit more on the Ogre, even though this hero is super slow, you guys can buy mana boots and a wind lace, and that's going to help you out. It's going to help you rotate better. It's going to help you land more ignites and fire blast, because the cast range is very small on the Ogre Magi. So items like Ether Lens you're going to benefit pretty heavily from. It's going to be very useful for you to buy these items, as it's going to help you stay much safer and cast more. So basically the build you guys are going to go for is Bracer. You're going to get a stick, you're going to get your mana boots, you're going to go into Ether Lens, maybe a Force Staff if need be, or a Solar Crest. Both are very good options. And then you go for the greedy items. You get the Hand of Midas, you get the Aghanim Scepter, you get the Hex. That's for the late game. I see a lot of griefing Ogres where they just get Midas as the first item. That is griefing. I'm definitely a big fan of buying Midas on Ogre. I think it's absolutely fantastic because you're getting so much value out of it, and then you can actually buy support items with that. But as the first item, it just doesn't make any sense. You should not be buying Hand of Midas as the first item. You should at least get your mana boots and Ether Lens, and then you can go back for the Midas, because you're going to be able to do your job as a support. Ogre should not be a position 5. You could definitely play it as a 5, but I think Ogre's best role is being a position 4. It allows you to get more farm priority on the hero. It allows you to get more items, and allows you to also get more XP, because as the position 5, you don't want to be soaking so much XP from your carry. So I think that's just the best position, but it can definitely be played as the 5 as well. Now let's break down some of the best and worst matchups for Ogre. Some of the best matchups are Troll Warlord, Ursa, Phantom Assassin, Bloodseeker, Wind Ranger. Heroes that don't like to be stun locked are the heroes you're good up against. Heroes that you can stun lock into oblivion and help kite is gonna be really good for the Ogre. So heroes like Ursa don't like being stunned, don't like being slowed, and a lot of these carries don't want to pop a BKB just because they have ignite on them. And it's so much of a slow, it's so pesky, so annoying. Until these heroes don't have mantas or lotus orbs or BKBs, you're gonna be doing so much work just off the back of these damage over time spells and these slows, and you're gonna be buffing your teammates non-stop with your bloodlust. It's just such a strong ability. It's so underrated. Obviously if you have a carry that doesn't benefit from this, it can be a little bit annoying, but most of the time you're gonna benefit someone on the map with bloodlust. It's just a very good ability for you guys to have. But ignite is super strong. The earlier the game is, nice. And especially if you're multicasting Ignite, it feels really nice. I used to play a lot of mid Ogre, and one of my favorite matchups was actually going up against the Shadow Fiend. And you guys might be wondering, well, what the hell? You should be losing that matchup left, right, and center. You actually don't. You do so much damage to the Shadow Fiend, and if you're able to have a stick, some raindrops, and your bottle, you can sustain enough to where when you get level 6, that Shadow Fiend will die pretty much instantly. He's just going to disappear off the face of the earth. It's a very fun matchup. I don't think mid Ogre is viable anymore. I don't think it's terrible. I think if you know your matchups properly, you definitely could play it. Hand of Midas is not as good as it used to be. It got heavily nerfed in the last few patches, so that's one of the reasons as well, because it's just not that strong. But Ogre in itself can be played in the offlane, can be played as both supports, and a very situational mid laner could definitely happen if you know what you're doing. Now, some of the bad matchups are Phantom Lancer, Chaos Knight, Naga Siren, Slark, Meepo. Basically any illusion hero or any hero that has dispel mechanics, so heroes like Slark, you don't want to go up against. Slark enjoys going up against tanky heroes so he can build up a ton of essence shift stacks, and you are that tanky hero, as well as your Ignite is not going to do practically anything because he's just going to be able to dispel it with Dark Pact. So it does feel really rough when you're facing up against heroes like that. Heroes like Abaddon, it can feel really rough because you're not getting as much impact as you typically would. But if you do catch the Slark off the Dark Pact and you're able to get a Fire Blast on him, Slark could potentially die. Slark is a squishy hero. I've seen a lot of situations in my pubs where I've been playing the Ogre Magi and I just time my blink to where the Slark used his Dark Pact and I'm able to get a multicast on Fire Blast, and that Slark just gets obliterated. So if you guys are patient enough and you do have a blink dagger, you're going to be doing a lot of work to these types of heroes, even though they have dispel mechanics. At the end of the day, there's always going to be a cooldown on these dispel mechanics, so you're going to have that open window. It might be a small window, but you do have a window to stun lock them into oblivion. And with the Aghanim Scepter build going in with Octarine, it's just a very strong item build. E-Blade as well as for core Ogre is a very strong tool. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Ogre. I think this hero is just so fun to play, and you guys should definitely be adding him into your hero pool. And very easy to play. He's very user friendly, so all you newer players to Dota, you should be playing the Ogre. He's a very simple hero, very simple kit. Just watch your positioning and always cast as many spells as you want, and you're going to be doing very well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys learned something, subscribe, leave a like. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.